welcome back to Incredibly, everybody. We've just left the theater after seeing Thunderbolts Asterix, new name here. We won't spoil it up top, but I'm Joey, joined by Uchi as always, and Miss Crystal is back again.
Once again.
That's good when you finish it. That's good. Yeah, I like that. So, initial thoughts leaving the theater. This is my second time seeing it, but so I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I loved it. Definitely better than what I expected. A solid 9 out of 10 for me. I feel like the only thing that really bothered me about the movie was when... Wait, am I allowed to talk about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So, when Sentry is... Wait, can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know he's
Okay.
Bob Sentry.
Yeah.
So, when Bob is... Because, like, obviously he hasn't practiced his powers.
Right.
Okay.
He's just a dude.
Know, for most of the movie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden he's struggling breaking a glass, and then the next scene they see him in, he's like fucking
Superman.
The Sentry, like he knows what he's doing. I thought that was weird. I'm like, how did she like only have like a half an hour to train him and dye and bleach his hair? I don't know. Weird, right?
Okay.
That's the only thing that kind of bothered me about it. But other than that, it was really, really good. 9 out of 10 for me.
Fair.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hovering around the 8.5, 9 rating. I really liked the message that this movie brought.
Yes.
Which I don't think a lot of the previous Marvel films, actually, I don't think any superhero film that I could think of has brought this type of message that's not usually like the typical stuff that you'd expect. I was a fan of that. Like the whole idea of like going through things on your own, darkness, feeling like there's a void, literal void. Connection to the void.
That's very deep.
Yeah,
yes.
I loved how deep it went, and then I loved how they were able to resolve the conflict in going into said void and, you know, helping Bob just come out of that.
Right.
And saying, like, he's not alone. We're all here for you. We're here together. That was sick. I like that.
Yeah, I think Marvel seems to be its strongest when it's more like found family stuff.
Yes.
It's like the Avengers coming together, forming the family. Guardians coming together, becoming a family. Now Thunderbolts, spoiler, new Avengers becoming a family.
Ding.
I think that's like... to me, that seems to be the strongest that Marvel is.
Yeah.
And this just kind of exemplifies that. It almost felt like the first Avengers movie. You know what I mean? Like
in a way,
kind of
sure.
like a ragtag group of people coming together to save New York again,
I mean,
right?
that's the whole point.
Yeah, and in doing that, they had the found family. All things considered, I love the movie as well. Literally, like one of the best films that we've gotten from Marvel in some time. But not even just like a good Marvel movie; it's a good movie. Period.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like everything with the mental health stuff. To redemption of these villains, anti-heroes that we've seen. Really good stuff. Like I agree with what you said about Sentry. It's not really a problem to me just because I know they only got X amount of time, but it's not going to ding any points for me. But overall, I liked it. What did you guys think of Sentry in the movie?
His powers are
Broken.
He's busted.
My goodness.
Which is why when Sentry comes, the void comes. Like that's just how it is. Yeah.
And I do like how, as much as like I didn't like the jump from like how he was struggling to how he just knew what he was doing, I do like how in the end, even though he did come to and everything was okay, that he still hasn't utilized his powers because of how complicated it is. Like it wasn't one of those like, oh, everything's okay now, it could be good Sentry. It's like it's complicated and they haven't touched on that yet, so I kind of like that aspect to it too.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the fact that Marvel Snap has been very educational for me. So I didn't really know about Sentry until I started playing that game.
Okay.
And so like leading into Thunderbolts, I of course was already familiar with the character just off of seeing him in the game. I heard about like what he's all about in comics. I feel like you actually told me like one time in like a previous video that we did, like, oh yeah, like Sentry has like the power of like 1,000 suns or some
exploding
shit.
suns.
Exploding suns. And I'm glad that they touched on that too. I really do like how they handle referencing comic book source material in the movies in not like a like we're just gonna like sweep it under the rug kind of way. Like they do it in a very like casual and it's like organic. It's not like it's like, oh, like what's his abilities, and like
Right.
you know they kind of listed out. It was a whole part of like Valentina's like plan and all that crap. So I was a fan of that, and I originally I just remembered. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like originally it's supposed to be Steven Yeun.
Yes.
That was supposed to be Sentry. And I don't know who this new actor is.
Lewis Pullman.
Okay, thank
I
you.
believe. Yeah.
So like, I don't know if I've seen him in other things.
He kind of looks like Heath Ledger.
You were
Yes.
saying he looked like
Yeah.
Tom
He
Holland growing
really-
up.
But I was-
in the middle of the movie, because like he looks like grown Tom Holland.
I thought the same thing. I
Yeah.
felt like he looked slightly like Tom Holland and Heath Ledger as well.
Yeah.
Like the way
It's like
his hair and the shape of his.
If Tom had like a more round face, kind of like how Heath had, because Lewis has like bigger cheeks.
Yeah.
I really liked how Sentry was introduced in this, where
Yeah.
it was like he was given the super soldier serum and turned into Sentry, and it's giving a lot of like lines between it's like a Homelander situation where Valentina created the Sentry, and very much so like a let me drink your milk situation of like
Right.
she's able to control him, but then they give you the twist of like, oh well, I'm actually a god, like I don't need to listen
I like
to what
that.
the fuck you're saying.
I like that a lot.
Whereas like that's kind of where in The Boys Homelander's kind of becoming or has come to that point where he's like, I don't need to listen to you, kind of. But I love how they introduced it like that, because The Boys have been so popular lately.
That's facts.
That having that kind of a character dynamic in this movie or in the MCU is really cool to me. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think they did touch on a lot of the relevant things in the superhero space, actually.
Yes.
Now that you mention that, I also, just to add on, thought very similarly, like when they had that scene where Valentina thought like, oh yeah, like I got this dude in my pocket, I created him, yada yada yada, but at the end he, like, I love how he pieced it together, and he was
Right.
like, wait a minute, when he made the comparison to how the Avengers had a god on their team, and he's like, well, if I'm supposed to be stronger than all the Avengers and they had a god, then I'm a god.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like that line,
tough.
I was like, that got me. But
Yeah.
I also, like, aesthetically though, he looked very comic accurate. He didn't look
Yeah.
as buffed up as you would expect out of like the comic book
Yeah.
form, but like for the movie's sake, I think he looked pretty fine.
I think it kind of works because how we know with like the super soldier serums of the past, the serum kind of it amplifies your personality traits, like it amplifies who you are. So with like Steve Rogers, he was like super scrawny, whatever, but his heart and everything about him was so larger than life that when he got the serum, he blew up.
Right.
But then in future iterations, like the one that U.S. Agent got, they were like, oh no, you can take it, but it's not going to make you giant. And same
Yeah.
with like everybody that the Falcon Winter Soldier stuff. So, but with Bob, that's like the super soldier serum times a bajillion to get him to where he is. But
Yeah.
so and it makes sense when, you know, he was a meth head. He was a dude in South Asia looking for drugs. He's not going to be super big and bulky. But when they did show him off,
that
brother
is
was ripped.
true. Yeah, he had
He
abs
was
under there.
jacked.
I saw that.
Yeah, he
I
was
always
jacked.
peek. I'm always like, yup,
Yeah.
ripped.
What did you guys think of the fight at the end, pulling Bob out?
Pulling Bob out.
Or well, like the whole everything that led up to that went from Yelena getting dusted, which when I saw, I was like, they just fucking killed her in the middle of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
hello.
I knew she wasn't dead. I was
I
like,
didn't.
there's no way. Like, they're not killing Yelena,
Yeah.
bro. Come
I
on.
mean, it was too quick. Too.
Right,
Like,
right,
The way
right.
she just
Yeah.
I don't know the way I feel like I give them props for how they approach that, because you know when you kind of like are witnessing a situation like that with someone so powerful, it's like, how the hell do you even go about this?
Yes.
And you have to be so careful because you can't do something stupid or outrageous
asshole.
or
Yeah.
like, oh my god, come on guys, like that was ridiculous. So I think they did a very decent job to, you know, kind of tie that all together and make it make sense.
Right.
Agree. I
You know,
agree.
considering how powerful he is.
Yeah.
So I liked it.
They hit him with the talk no jutsu,
Yo, and
which,
that's
which
what's
is okay,
realistic.
which
Yeah.
is good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Marvel's been doing that a lot lately
Yeah.
with the talking people off ledges. How do you feel?
No, you guys are nailing it. Like, I have nothing else to add on that. Just like, I love how realistic the movie felt for being a superhero movie, if that makes sense.
With
you
just a
know?
bunch of people that can punch and shoot.
Yeah.
It was the best that they could do.
I will say, though, the trailers, they made it come off more like a comedy in a sense, like not completely, because like thinking back on like the trailers, like of course like a Marvel trailer, like you know you're gonna have the explosions and some of the action sequences to make it feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But like the way they had more of the jokes, like, oh, like what are we doing? Like we're just punching and shooting and da da da, right? Like I thought that was like. I feel like it downplayed the movie a little bit.
Yeah, they hid the tone.
Yeah, they hid the tone of it. Even though when you're watching it, there are a lot of great comedy sections.
Like everything with fighting the chicken, the methed out chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, and anything with Red Guardian.
Red Guardian is
Yes,
great.
he's
Yes.
a great comedic
Yeah,
relief.
I loved his role overall in the movie, and I actually do enjoy how they had Yelena essentially be like the star of this film.
Yes.
You know, because you would expect for the tenure, you know, like it would have been Bucky because he was around doing this the longest.
He was like the captain, but she was like the glue.
Yeah,
Right. Like
seriously, yes.
She's what held the film together and
She was
was.
the spine.
She was the spine of the team. Yeah. Which I love.
I like that.
Yeah, because she, one, loved Florence Pugh.
Yes.
Two, loved Yelena. So her
Yes.
actually getting to be the star of the film.
Yes.
Such
With-
a good idea.
Yeah, it was such an amazing idea. And then having the cast they did to be not even supporting it, they were kind of like all main characters, but they were kind of supporting was really good. Like I know you hate John Walker. His character in this movie
sucks.
so good, but he's like such a good heel.
Yeah,
for wrestling terms.
He is.
He's like so good at just playing the dickhead. It just gets under your skin, but then when he does something redeemable, you're like, all right,
Not so bad.
yeah. That scene with his kid though, that was fucked up.
Nah, that was deep, and that was the thing. Like the movie kind of hit you in certain parts that you weren't really expecting.
Yeah.
And it just added to the buildup of how they all kind of come together as this true team of misfits.
Yes.
And in a way, this is another praise to Marvel, because I always love how, even though throughout the last several years people have had their reserves about how they're handling things and what they're doing and all this stuff, I have always held out hope and faith that we're gonna get to a point where everyone's gonna be like, all right, we're back and da da da. And I'm just like, nah, man, like everything takes steps and everything kind of sets up for what we're to expect in the coming projects. And the fact that we now have the new Avengers, no more asterisk, take that shit out, no more Thunderbolts, there's the new Avengers, okay? That just tells me. And then, we didn't even talk about, this is a good transition, we didn't even talk about the post-credit scene yet.
Oh my god.
So bro, the post-credit scene, they're out here teasing the Fantastic Four, and that's coming next. And that's beautiful, because that's the next Marvel film. That's the next big project that's coming. So what does that tell me? That tells me that they're getting all these teams ready. Okay? So we got the new Avengers. We got the Fantastic Four.
Plus you got Sam's Avengers.
That's a good
whatever they're gonna be
point.
called.
West
And
Coast Avengers?
West
Nah,
Coast. Well,
stop.
it could be.
Yeah, maybe. If he goes over
Well,
there.
they said that he's filing trademark for Avengers.
Right,
So
yeah.
whatever that's going to be. Then you're going to have
The X-Men.
And then, but how many X-Men teams, we don't know. So because we know we're going to get Gambit. So whatever X-Men he's with, it's not going to be, my theory is that it's not the Fox Universe X-Men because of Gambit. It's going to be Gambit's X-Men is my theory.
Interesting.
So it's
okay.
X-Men that we've seen but haven't seen.
Right.
And then wherever Monica went. So you're going to have that squad as well.
Yeah, Monica's with the Fox folks.
That's what we're assuming.
That's
because
what-
of Beast.
yeah.
Yeah. Lots to look forward to. This is like the most I have felt that I've wanted to see more of a specific Marvel movie in a while. I am leaving the theater feeling like I want to see more Marvel because of Fantastic Four, obviously. But also at the same time, I'm like, I want to see more of this team do shit.
Yeah.
Because of the dynamics were so good. Like, I never in my life cared about Ghost at all. Now I'm
That's
invested.
facts. That's true.
I like Ghost as a character. We didn't really get to see much of her backstory. It was more John and Yelena that were explored.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't need more Bucky. We've gotten Bucky over the last 20 years. So
Yeah, Red Guardian too. They gave it a little bit, but not really.
So to get more of just this team as a whole, I think is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
That end credit scene seemed like it was filmed on the Doomsday set because it was a completely different tone. I don't know if you guys noted.
No, I picked up
It
on
felt
that.
like
Yeah,
different
yeah.
cameras, different tone. So very excited. Doomsday is probably going to get pushed back. I don't see a world in which it doesn't get pushed back, but it's a year away, which is wild.
That's crazy. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, it's time. It's time. Marvel has shifted gears.
Yeah.
They are completely focused in on all the big stuff that they know will work.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they've been cutting back on certain things, and obviously things take time to roll out.
Yeah.
These new, effects, not visually, but I'm talking like, with how they operate.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, like how they're gonna execute things, going forward. So, and the one thing I guess I also throw into this reaction review video here is that I always look forward to the next, what the next immediate thing is that has to incorporate or that has involvement with the MCU.
Yeah.
Because obviously when the snap happened back in Endgame, there were so many movies and shows that always referenced back to that.
Right.
So I'm wondering, because all of New York was pretty much in a void.
Yeah, literally.
And we just got done with Daredevil. I mean, I know that we're not gonna get a new season until like next year or whatever.
Yeah.
But like whatever the next thing is
They're gonna mention
before
it.
Fantastic Four or even like after, like I want to know if like, oh man, like what happened? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, were you replaying your darkest moments type shit? Like I always look forward to seeing that, so that way things kind of seem like they're streamlined.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So.
It feels like it's like I said earlier, it's gone back. It's reminiscent of Avengers, where it's like each movie subsequently led to the next film.
Right.
And I think that's what everybody was feeling was missing from post Endgame was like, okay, well, here's a Doctor Strange movie. Oh, but the end credit scene doesn't really lead anything.
Right.
Here's this movie, and there was a bunch of pieces, but none of them are really coming together to complete the puzzle. Whereas this feels like, okay, a solid entry is going directly into the next two things, because it's teasing that the Fantastic Four are coming to our universe from space, and it's also teasing Thunderbolts are going to be in Doomsday. So it's kind of like it's a 2-for-1, which I really liked.
Yeah.
Anything else? What did you guys, Miss Chris, mention what you didn't like? Was there anything that you didn't like in the film? That you, if you got to think about it, you probably or could have done better.
Honestly, I don't really think I have anything that I would say that they could have done better. Like, this is me, not even a nitpick, but this is an unreal expectation, where when you have New York City be the forefront of a lot of these big like action scenes, right? And New York holds the majority of these Marvel characters, right? And that's not a biased thing to say, it's a fact, okay? Like, it would, like, I know it's like, oh, like, they're not gonna do that, but of course, like, if they did, it would be like, yo, like, that's crazy. Like, take X-Men 97, for example.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You know where I'm going with this. X-Men 97, they had moments where they were taking shots of perspectives of all these other characters when all this crazy shit was happening. We saw Doctor Doom at one point. We saw Spider-Man with MJ. He found MJ. Like, they tied a loose thread from another show just with that one moment. So with this, I was hoping, like, oh my god, the world, all of New York is going dark. This is the new version of the snap. It would have been crazy to see, like, all that happening, and then you look around, it's like, oh, look, there's Luke Cage. Like, oh, there's Daredevil, and there's Spider-Man swinging around, and like what's going on? Like, if they did shit like that in the movies, I feel like that would be...
It makes it feel way more interconnected.
Yes.
And that's why I think when that happened in 97, it was definitely like a, holy shit, holy shit. And so if we would have got even, like, Charlie Cox popping up just for him to get... like, that would have been crazy. I understand we can't get Spider-Man. I know that's a little tough.
But
the concept of having just the cameo in that way to make it feel like it's not just affecting the Thunderbolts and the Avengers, to have it be affecting New York.
Exactly. And look who's the mayor. It's Kingpin. Like he just did some crazy shit to New York, but then this movie comes around and they almost act as if like none of those things.
Oh well, he can't be in Marvel movies. That's the thing for him. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I didn't know that.
Kingpin specifically can only be in the TV show.
See, like that's to me that's weird.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is pissed.
So that is my flaw. Yeah. I guess that I will point out.
But it's not a movie flaw. It's a Sony flaw.
I feel like it's it's a property flaw.
Yeah.
Overall, because that pits everything together. Because it's
I
like,
agree.
listen, I understand that these are adaptations, right? But I'm not even asking to see one-to-one comic book stories being played out. As much as I would love that,
Right.
But I know that's very unrealistic, and I do like how they're giving us like their own version of these stories. But what would make it way more fulfilling is if they, made reference and paid the respect to things that were literally just laid out before the events. Because then it almost kind of like de-sells it in a way, because all the stuff that happened in Daredevil was crazy, and you would think like, oh, they're going to New York. Even if Valentina mentioned like, oh yeah, like like take this way because we can avoid the Fisk people or whatever. If a little mention like that, it would have been like, okay, like I'll take that. You know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, they're even able to give nods in Daredevil when Fisk was talking about like the man in the spider mask and like stuff like that. So
I wish it was both ways.
Yes, I agree.
Because they could do it, but then it seems like the big people, they just don't acknowledge the friendly neighborhood folks on the streets, bro. Come on.
I don't see why they don't. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Whatever. Contracts.
But I think but I mean, you could just have a dude in a Spider-Man suit show that's not Tom Holland. A CGI Spider-Man just shows up, right? Or like, Frank Castle just pops up. Like, what the hell? What was everybody doing? I think if it would have added that element of, oh, New York is fucked right now. That like we could tell by the shadows being cast all over New York, but to really see the impact that it's having on even Strange is there. The
Strange Academy,
Sanctum Sanctorum is in New York City. Right.
Yeah.
Daily Bugle in New York City. Anything else is in New York. So to have that, I agree. But I think that's the problem everybody's had with these movies for so long, is that it just feels like it's the characters in the movie. That's it. That's going on.
Okay, you saying that literally sparked a very fast idea that I just want to blurt out.
Okay.
So, when the Void is happening in New York City, imagine if we saw Frank Castle escaping, and that's how they left Daredevil, is where he was.
Oh fuck.
He was trapped, right?
Yeah.
And then you see him like coming out of wherever he was at to all this shit. And you just see him like running off and trying to save and protect people that was around him, like a little kid or whatever.
Right.
That would have been crazy.
Having a teaser for Daredevil season 2 in the new movie would have been crazy.
Dude, this is how
awesome.
This is how the comic book industry flourishes, because they have one arc and they tell you this is the story, but then they always reference, they say something and then they note it, be like, oh, see issue of this side story or this whatever. You know, like they gotta do this shit for the freaking movies too, man. But it's all right. I think
it's okay.
8.5 or a 9 for me, and I'm cool. You saw it twice.
Yes.
So how did you feel now seeing it for a second time? Like, are you still like high on it, or has it mellowed down, settled down? Like, how do you think overall?
It's solidified that it's like an all-timer.
Nice.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to ruminate on this a little bit. Is like, does it feel like it's this good of a movie because of when it's coming out? Like after the not like the slog of Marvel movies, but like because the rest of the movies haven't been as good. Does it feel like it's leagues better because of that, or is it actually a good movie? I think it's a really good movie. I don't know if I said it while we were recording, but like, it's not just a good Marvel movie, it's a good movie. Like, I went with my fiance Sarah, my little brother, and then my buddy Stefan. Stefan's a big Marvel nerd. Shout out Stefan, he'll probably watch this. Sarah might watch this as well. Adam, I'm gonna force watch this. I make him watch everything. Adam is a very casual viewer, so probably like Joe, right? Where they just kind of watch. They don't know
Adam's
the comics.
Than Joe.
Adam he kind of knows. When we left, he was like, I loved that movie.
Nice.
Sarah was even like, I had no interest in seeing this movie. Honestly, it's just Marvel. She's like, I love that movie.
Nice.
Like, it was a good movie. So I think overall, solid ass movie, and I think it's gonna stand the test. It's gonna take some word of mouth to get people into the movie to see it. But I think when people are like, oh shit, it's actually good. Like, we're back.
We're proving it here, and incredibly, yes.
It's going to be good. So Marvel's on a good run right now. Daredevil, now Thunderbolts, Ironheart, and then Fantastic Four, and then I don't remember what else is coming out the rest of the year.
I think it's like Eyes of Wakanda.
Oh, the cartoon,
the animated series. And
Yes.
at some point, Wonder Man.
Wonder Man,
I think
yes.
he's the last one. But there's probably something I'm missing
Yeah.
in between Eyes of Wakanda and Wonder Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if it. No, it's not another What If. No, it's something.
No,
I
what
don't
if
know.
is done? But I think X-Men '97. I think we're supposed to get that might be early next year.
That's probably next year.
But and then My Friendly Neighborhood was supposed to be last year. I think. Then
We got
pushed
it.
this
We
year,
got
so
it
it's-
this year. Yeah.
yeah,
That
so-
started us off, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Technically. So.
Yep. So I'm gonna give it a good solid 8.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
because it's not. There's nothing negative about it, but it's a very good movie. But it's not a perfect.
It's grounded.
Fair, yes.
Solid.
For having the Sentry be the villain, to have it be a very grounded movie
Yeah.
about a ragtag group of people coming together to form a team to take down the big bad.
It was Valentina's fault anyway.
Yeah.
It was all
Yes.
her. Yeah.
So the end when Yelena was like, "We own you now," I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because she tried to put her name on the homework. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I made this team when she was trying to kill them.
Yep.
Come on, bro.
Yep.
So good.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
This movie did such a good job with making you excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I wasn't expecting. I thought it was gonna be kind of like Brave New World, where I'm like, okay, it's good,
Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah.
and I'm just excited in general because I just love Marvel.
Yes.
But this movie, just on its own, just specifically made me excited for what's
That's
to
awesome.
come.
That's good.
Yeah.
Marvel, watch this.
Please.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Please.
I think they learned. I think this movie and Daredevil, the first episode, last 2 episodes, are proof that they're like, hey, something wasn't working. We got to right the ship, and they're doing it right. I mean, Fantastic Four is gonna kind of be make or break because it's really gonna set the tone for Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot to do, but you didn't see the new trailer. Did you see the new trailer?
For Fantastic Four.
Yeah, for Fantastic
I don't know
Four.
if I saw the new trailer.
It looks incredible.
Wait, was it the new trailer that was shown in?
Not in the theater.
No, they didn't show
That's
it
the
for
old
us.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
There's a new one where it shows Mr. Fantastic stretching. It shows Silver Surfer.
I gotta watch
It's a female, right?
Yes.
Silver
Yeah,
Surfer?
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
Maybe I did watch it.
lot to be excited for as
Yes.
a Marvel fan. And then we get Superman too.
Oh, that's a side note. Hey, DC, listen. Hey, DC, I see you. Okay? I see you.
Yeah.
And y'all see my comic collection too, because I've been piling up. Okay? Woo.
Absolute.
You guys are cooking.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Summer of Superman, summer of the Fantastic Four. We're locked in. It's gonna be good. I'm very excited. Final thoughts. I think the last thing I want to say is Sentry looked really good.
Yeah.
And it gave a reason for the like overly designed suit that everybody complains about because it was designed by a marketing team to push a superhero. You know what I
Right.
mean? So they were
So
like,
it makes sense.
he needs to look like a superhero.
Right.
Overly designed, blonde hair.
Right.
I thought that was great, and it really fit. It looked like Sentry. I know people were complaining about the S wasn't connected. Whatever, I don't care.
Oh,
You know,
come
it's,
on, man.
It's alternate universe. It's its own thing. All the suits look like that. It looks
Yeah.
good. Sentry was good.
That's crazy.
Bob outside of Sentry was also a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Great
he was a cool
I liked
character.
his character.
Yeah, he was nice.
He's very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was innocent,
Yes, he was.
even though he was like a drug head or whatever
Yeah.
before, but that's
So
alright.
wait, Crystal, you gave it what?
Gave it a 9.
9. Uchi gave it
I'm gonna go 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
And I gave it an 8 divided by 3. That is
8.5.
You take my 33.5%.
And I'll see you at Sacrifice.
We'll see you at Fantastic Four, more like it, in July, unless we want to do, who knows what comes out in between them. But,
Superman.
Superman. Oh yes.
That's the first. That's before.
Wow.
That's early July, so they get first dibs in July.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah,
That's
but
tough.
and I feel like that's why they're at the end. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
8.5.
from Incredibly for Thunderbolts / New Avengers,
Yes.
is this one of the best Avenger films?
I mean,
Is it better than Age of Ultron?
no.
You don't think it's better than Age of
No.
Ultron?
Absolutely not.
Is it better than Avengers 1?
No.
I think I like it a little bit more than Age of Ultron.
I feel like
But
there's
I-
aspects of it that are better than it.
Maybe maybe some aspects, but overall, I don't think so.
All right. Do you count it as an Avenger film? Or does the new throw it off? It's like the new 3DS XL.
So, all right.
It's still a 3DS.
Give them their props.
Yeah, see, and what she said, give them their props, right?
Yeah.
I, as a fan, will give them their props.
Okay.
But in the lens of a casual, in the lens of a fan, that they go see it because they got nothing else to watch, and they're just there to just hate watch, or they just complain anyway. Like my stepbrother, literally, like. As soon as they'll see something like that and they see the team in front of them and they don't recognize that,
that's not
where's Iron Man?
Yeah.
Where's the Hulk?
That's not my Captain America.
Exactly. They're gonna dismiss them off rip.
Yeah, so that's
guarantee you. They're like, oh, look, this is a fucking new event. What is this?
Yeah, well they said that's what the end not my Avengers at the end was.
Yeah, and you know what?
Calling out the normies.
Props to them though. They were ahead of the game, and
yeah.
they were like, yeah, we know that people are not gonna accept it for all the reasons that I just said.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they even touched on that, even in an after credit scene. Like, fire. Like, it makes me respect it a lot more.
Yeah.
And to give them, you know, the respect, like Crystal said, like it's like let them cook. You know, like they just got here, and we might see them in the Fantastic Four movie when if they show the scene when they
were
land.
going to intercept, is they called the jet to go intercept.
Right.
Yeah, good luck dealing with that.
Now
shit.
I think what's going to be interesting is if in this is the prediction now.
Yeah.
If in a Fantastic Four movie when we get to the part where they escape their universe,
right,
and they end up in the 616 and they're trying to like land. I'm pretty sure new Avengers are not going to be the only ones answering the call. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an intersection.
It's
like
going to be
we'll see Sam. We'll see
Wakanda will be showing.
Yale.
We're
gonna. Oh my! It's gonna be so. It's so exciting.
So that set photo the photo that we saw that I showed you guys, M'Baku, Shang-Chi, Doom, all of them. That I think is going to be the groups we're going to be seeing.
Yes.
The Thunderbolts weren't there, but so that's probably what I think. Like part one. So this is my thinking: is that bit, that end credit scene, is what's going to start Doomsday. It's going to be like the beginning of Doomsday. Is the Fantastic Four are going to be coming in?
Okay.
It's going to be like,
I see you.
listen, some shit's about to go down. You need to get ready. Either Galactus is coming after them, or Doom is.
That's gonna be crazy start.
And it's gonna be wild because when you think about it, they're gonna be the herald of whoever is coming for them. The herald of Doom, which is a cool reflection of Galactus and all that stuff. So
yes,
I love being a fan of this shit.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's a beautiful time to get into this, especially the comic books, the movies.
No, the comics are popping off.
The one thing I forgot to, all of us forgot to mention, was that we were all right. And they killed Taskmaster
right away
within the first 5 minutes of the film.
Bullet to the fucking head.
And then they never talked about it. I mean, they did. They mentioned it, but still, it was like literally every single person. If you were online, hyping up Thunderbolts, following news sites and other videos and content creators talking about this, everybody was like, "Bro, they're killing Taskmaster," and they did.
I kind of wish that the marketing would have planted Taskmaster in the other shots to hide that. Because if we would have went in and it was like Taskmaster died right away, I think it would have been a bigger deal. But because we all knew going into it, it was kind of like a, haha, that's funny. Okay, that's
that's like, I guess that's one way to put it. They probably took the approach of like,
nobody likes this character,
like,
let's just kill him.
Yeah, let's just kill her because when the reset happens, then that'll be their opportunity to properly do a correct Taskmaster later on.
Yep.
So
Taskmaster was cooking though.
Yeah, like listen, like I know you love Taskmaster.
I love Taskmaster.
You love Taskmaster.
We got a little bit of that cockiness too. It's like, I'm not here for you.
Yeah. Like my thing with Taskmaster is like don't get it twisted. I don't care that it was a woman.
Yeah.
I literally, my thing with Taskmaster was that they used the character in a weird way that didn't fully capture the entire character. Like, so if and when they decide to redo it, and if it's the same chick or if it's a new cast member, but they do Taskmaster justice, I'm all for it. They didn't do it justice with Taskmaster from where we saw him. So, and that's a Spider-Man villain. Come on. Tom, where you at? All right, anyways.
We're out of here. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you'd like these car reviews down in the comments below. Let us know your opinions on Thunderbolts, New Avengers as well. You can find all of our information down in the description below. Uji's got his link tree. Well, it's in our link tree. His link tree's in our link tree kind of thing. You know what I mean? Miss Chris, where can we find you?
You can find me at CRYSAYE on Instagram. And
you got TikTok?
Yes, I got a TikTok as well.
X? Or like,
that too.
What you got? He's like, what you got?
I got all of it.
Good. All right, and we will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
See ya.